Clark County Today is presented by Connell Real Estate. Hire an agent, get a team. Learn more by visiting connellrealestate.com.
Evening, folks. Jacob Grandeman here with your Thursday night update of the stories we're following for you from Clark County Today. Stick around for an amazing story about how the local community pulled together this week to help a popular Vancouver business owner after he was hit by thieves. You don't want to miss it. 2020 continues to be full of surprises. A small earthquake jolted some people this afternoon from northeast Vancouver up through Battleground. The 2.9 magnitude quake was centered around 17 miles east-northeast of Yackle in the Gifford-Pinchot National Forest. The shallow quake was measured around 6 miles deep in the Mount St. Helens quake zone. People who felt it described the quake as a sharp jolt that shook buildings and rattled nerves, but no damage was reported. The quake was in the area burned by the Big Hollow fire this summer, but a seismologist said the University of Washington's Pacific Northwest Seismic Network says the wildfire likely had nothing to do with the earthquake. Clark County's total number of COVID-19 cases passed 6,000 today, only 9 days after hitting 5,000. Clark County Public Health says 264 more people have tested positive since Tuesday, making 719 new cases since last Friday for an average of 120 per day. Hospitalizations also continue to increase with 45 confirmed and 10 suspected cases in Clark County hospitals, making up nearly 9% of available bed space. There are currently 428 cases considered active, also a new high. The Clark County Jail today confirmed 7 inmates have tested positive for COVID-19. The sheriff's office says the infected inmates were all from the same housing unit. The cases were discovered after 1 inmate tested positive and testing was done on the rest of the population in the housing unit. All affected inmates are now in a negative airflow section of the jail. The department also confirmed that 4 staff members have tested positive for COVID-19 over the past 2 weeks and are currently off work until cleared by their doctors. Speaking of the Clark County Jail, an inmate who suffers from celiac disease has filed a lawsuit in federal court alleging he was routinely served food with gluten in it. 26-year-old Gavin Pichano, who now lives in Michigan, said he spent 22 days in jail last January on a mental health hold. Pichano's attorney says his client lost 10 pounds and became so malnourished while in custody that he lost consciousness and could not be brought back around by emergency responders. Celiac disease is an autoimmune disorder that impacts around 1% of the population and requires a strict gluten-free diet. Though Pichano was approved for a gluten-free diet while in the county jail, the lawsuit alleges jail staff failed to follow through. Pichano says he still is suffering from symptoms caused by the mistreatment. His lawsuit seeks monetary damages to be determined at trial. This past year has seen a significant increase in water quality warnings issued by Clark County Public Health for Lacamas Lake. Retired botanist and science teacher Roger Hauge weighs in on the problems and what is needed to fix them.
The restoration project that is just kind of getting off the ground again, because it's happened before. Just getting off the ground has county, city, citizens, Department of Ecology, all looking at it, and money can be found to make the facilities available to take care of stormwater around the lake that we can't handle on our own property. Can be found to do something like oxygenate the lake so that the lake is sealed. All the phosphate that's been out there for the last 125 years are all sealed in, and so we can have a lake that approaches what we call a mesotrophic set, when we only have about 25 micrograms per liter of phosphate that get into it. So you can have larger fish, and you can have good swimming water, and not so much algae, and maybe no of the cyanobacter, the blue-green algae that comes in the fall. Actually, this year it happened from early spring to fall.
People living near Lacamas Lake have become increasingly vocal about the needs to fix the water quality. The Camas City Council is proposing $300,000 in their biannual budget to begin studying the problem by working with the county, state, and possibly federal authorities. Yesterday was, of course, Veterans Day. This week, Clark County Today has been bringing you a series of interviews with local World War II veterans, including 98-year-old Ed Haley. The 98-year-old was born in Beverly, Massachusetts, birthplace of the U.S. Navy, he likes to recall. He signed up to join the Navy in 1942, eventually becoming a fighter pilot who survived this near miss while attempting to land on the flight deck of his first aircraft carrier.
So there I am taking off on a wave off, and the cable's got my tail hook. Well, I went about as far as the cable went and then stopped dead and went down probably about 30 feet into the catwalk, or the port catwalk of the carrier. Next thing I know, the deck handler is unbuckling me and pulling me out of there. I get out on the deck and I turn around and looked at that poor Hellcat. The landing gear strut had come right up through the wing. The wings were drooping. The prop had hit the deck and killed the engine. And there it was hanging on the side of the catwalk. And I said to myself, here I am, all this work I went to and learned, and now they're going to throw me out for the crash. They said, no, they put you in another one and sent me up again. But the signal officer told me, you're going to have to put your head out the side of the cockpit.
Haley even wrote a book about his 2 tours of duty during World War II. He was honorably discharged in 1945. Haley was even able to return to the deck of the USS Yorktown 3 years ago and sit in the cockpit of an F-6F Hellcat fighter aircraft he fell in love with. To see our full interview with all of our area veterans, head to clarkcountytoday.com, and thank you once again to all the brave men and women who serve our country in wartime and in peacetime. Lastly, but very much not least this afternoon, after a thief took off with the store safe from Goldie's Barbecue in Vancouver earlier this month, Kindness 911 jumped into action. The group showed up this week to surprise owner Charles Bibbins with a brand new safe and some thanks. Clark County Today's videographer Mike Schultz and reporter Paul Valencia were there.
A bunch of people here who we know what you've been through here this recently, right? It's been rough. It's been really rough. And your community loves you. Yeah, you know that. So these people wanted to give you some appreciation right now. So I'm going to give a couple minutes here. We got Clark County Sheriff's Office here. We got Collins Tribal Police Department here. We got Vancouver Police Department here. We got Ridgefield Police Department here. So they just I'm going to give you a couple minutes for them to say thank you. All right? Come on up and say hi, guys.
Thank you so much for everything you do for us, for our community, man. You are a strength, okay? We love you. So,
Vancouver Police Department, we have a brand new safe for you.
Thank you, sir.
Vancouver Police is going to come and they are going to rivet this sucker to the concrete floor. It ain't going nowhere. So again, we appreciate people like you, businesses like you, and just the heart that you share. And you are truly what Vancouver and Clark County is all about.
Oh, thank you, and it's over the top. Y'all didn't have to do that. I appreciate it. We didn't lose that much, but you know, it was a shock seeing somebody walk out with your stuff. But this is beyond what we thought anybody would do for us. It's too much, and then the officers come, and that's icing on the cake. Yeah, getting to shake their hand, man, that's beautiful. We appreciate what they do, and you know, anything we can do for them, we will.
Amazing story. Thank you, Paul and Mike, for telling it, and to Charles Bibbins for what you mean to the community. And that's your check of the stories we're following for you on this Thursday at clarkcountytoday.com. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube to see when stories are posted and be part of the conversation. News, tips, and ideas can go to news@clarkcountytoday.com. From all of us, I'm Jacob Granneman. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with you again tomorrow.